chrome heels can look like this or like this. You wonder how this happens? Let me tell you how, and let me show you how to avoid. I love my chromes, and I wanted this protector to protect my chrome heels for as long as I can. But I do have to warn you guys, chrome paints are so fragile, and for a reason. They're really hard to make. You know, the pigments to have that mirror-like finish requires a lot of special finish, and a lot of times to have the paint maintain intact, it's nearly impossible. So I really believe that my invisible protector is going to help you last your heel a lot longer. However, doing my fitting, stenciling, making the product, I have encountered an issue, and I think some of you may run into it. And I just want to say, I really, really wish that these shoe companies could have figured out a way to make the paint better. But since they can, I'm going to share with you, when you put these film on, the adhesive could possibly pull out the paint. I'll show you a safe way to take it off. Once you put it on, I would just leave it on. If for some reason it's misaligned or there's an air bubble, I highly recommend you just trim it off or poke a hole or use an X-Acto knife to release the air bubble versus peeling it off, because you could seriously risk taking the paint off, and I do not want that to happen to you, because I know how it feels, how devastated it can feel when you have a brand new pair of heels and just because you're annoyed with one little misalignment, you ruin the whole shoe, and I do not want that to happen to you. You must take it off. I'm going to show you the best way to take it off. These paints are protected underneath the film, so when you are clacking, dancing, dragging your foot on the floor, you're essentially cracking the paint underneath, and you might not see it, but the film is actually what's holding the paint together. So if you have dancing the heel for a really long time and you want to take the film off, I do have to tell you, when you slowly peel it off, you're gonna see the paint, the cracks where you damaged the heel. Here is the safe way to take off the film. I will only take it off when you're ready to put on a new pair of skins, perhaps, or you can actually even put the skins over your clear protector. A lot of my instructions and videos, I say preheat the film before you peel it off. Don't pull it off like you're waxing your leg. And when I say that, I really mean it, to slowly preheat one section at a time, not the overall area and peel off. I really want to think about trying to not pull off any hair. What would you do? You're going to do it very slowly, and this is how slow you should do it. So I'm preheating a little section at a time for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then just lifting it slowly. And again, you want to think like you don't want to hurt any piece of your hair. I know this process seems painful, but it beats pulling the paint off of your heels. And I think at this point you kind of get my point. You can see my point on how slow it should peel off the film using heat. And as you can see, the paint is totally intact. So what happens when you just kind of semi-heat the film, not all the way through and didn't give enough time and pull it off really fast, you will probably gonna pull off the paint really fast, especially if you have danced in your heel for a while. And let me show it to you. See, that's what happens when you don't heat up the film properly, or you think you have heat up enough, or simply not heating it up at all. This is what will happen to your chrome heels. So please, please take your time. If you have to take it off, but again, I would just leave it on, and if there's any imperfection, just trim it off or use an X-Acto knife to help poke a hole and release the air bubble versus trying to redo the whole thing.